Hey there, everyone. Today, we are diving into a fascinating yet concerning topic: Russia's financial situation and its impact on the ongoing war. I want to take you on a journey to understand where Russia might find the money to sustain its military operations and the potential consequences of its economic decisions. Hook. Imagine a country with an endless wish list for its military, but a shrinking financial nightstand. That's the dilemma Russia faces today. Context setup: Russia's central bank has been making some interesting moves, cutting interest rates while warning of prolonged high rates. This has implications not just for investors, but also for the government's budget and debt management. Main breakdown: the central bank's dilemma. Elvira Nabiullina, the central bank governor, is caught between a rock and a hard place. With inflation rising due to fuel shortages, she's lowering rates symbolically, but the real challenge is the budget deficit and servicing expensive government debt. Budget deficit and GDP. Calculating the deficit based on projected GDP is a risky move. Russia's GDP is highly dependent on factors like oil prices and the conflict in Ukraine. The Ukrainian armed forces' attacks on Russian infrastructure are a wild card, making budget predictions unreliable. Oil prices and revenue. Oil revenue is a significant chunk of Russia's budget, but it's vulnerable. The conflict with Iran, while boosting prices temporarily, could end before the US midterms, causing a sudden dip. And let's not forget the Ukrainian military's precision strikes on Russian refineries. Taxes and business. The government's increased tax burden might lead to business bankruptcies, especially small businesses. The attacks on Wildberries warehouses are a prime example of how the conflict impacts civilian businesses, and the tax collection figures for the coming quarters look grim. Spending and debt. The Kremlin's spending on war and its consequences, along with potential mobilization, will further strain the budget. Some regions are already de facto bankrupt, and the inevitable increase in war spending is a ticking time bomb. Deeper insight. The Finance Ministry has three main revenue sources: taxes, debt, and currency devaluation. Taxes are a ticking time bomb, and devaluation has limited impact. That leaves borrowing, but the Finance Ministry is facing a challenge. Borrowing and bond auctions. The Finance Ministry has been borrowing more, but high interest rates make debt servicing expensive. The cost of servicing debt exceeds the planned budget deficit for 2026. The market seems skeptical, demanding higher yields on federal loan bonds. Staring contest with banks. The Finance Ministry and banks are in a tense standoff. The government might strong-arm state-owned banks to buy more bonds, but banks need money too. The Finance Ministry's strategy of pretending there's no money might slow down the Kremlin's spending, but it's a risky game. Sustainability and default. If suspicions about the central bank's independence grow, banks might become reluctant to accept low yields. The Finance Ministry might hold out until the end of the year, but a full-blown crisis could be just around the corner. While default isn't certain, measures like devaluation or bond payment freezes could threaten the stability of banks, and ultimately, citizens. Closing thought. Russia's financial situation is a complex web of interconnected challenges. As the war continues, the country's economic decisions will have far-reaching implications, not just for its military operations, but also for its citizens and the stability of its financial system. It's a delicate balance, and the outcome remains uncertain. I hope this exploration has given you a deeper understanding of the financial challenges Russia faces. It's a fascinating yet worrying situation, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.